All right. What's up, Mob Crew? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Now we're live. What's up, Mob Crew? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys can hear me okay, please put a 1 in the chat. Good to see everybody. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for the $10 super sticker. You are so awesome. Please show Jennifer some love in the chat. Today we'll be going over the latest updates from the Rex Heuermann case. And today is Monday, so we have Steve from True Crime Web who's going to come on with me, and we'll go over. Looks like they've been digging up his backyard, and so we'll play some news clips. We'll also kind of just touch on the timeline of the four girls that he's associated with for now. Just to kind of get the backstory for those that may not know the full story, and just kind of waiting for everybody to get in here. Okay, good. All right. But as always, before we get started, we like to feature the missing. So today's missing is somebody that I featured a long time ago. Has been missing for 3-4 years now. And this is Andrea Nabel. She went missing in 2019. Let's see if I can see it. It's in August 13th, 2019. Now 40 years old. This is a new updated poster. If you have any information, she went missing out of Kentucky. If you have any information, you can call 623-930-3000. And another one that we've featured a couple of times on this channel is Brian Fladdick Hazel. He went missing out of East Orlando, Florida. He went missing in November of 2021, so it's about 2 years ago. Pull this up here. If you have any information, you can call 407-254-7000. All right. Let me close that. And let me introduce my co-host for today. Hey, Steve. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, sir. Glad to be here and hope you're doing well.
Thank you. Same to you, buddy. I know you've been busy. You've been out on the road. And then you're going to be moving?
Well, yes, we're in the process of trying to move, and that's probably going to take us several months. But still got so much work to do on the road on the cold cases, and then
Sure.
It's just everything. I'm so far behind. You ever been behind?
I feel like that every day. When you work in YouTube, it does feel like that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it does. For those that may be new to my channel or yourself, you want to just give a brief background. And while you do that, I'm going to shut off my air conditioner.
Okay. Sure. I'm a retired law enforcement officer, had a 20-year career. Took all different types of training from SWAT to becoming a state certified crime scene technician. I've investigated all different types of cases in my investigative career, from simple crimes, burglaries, and homicides.
And it's always an honor to pick your brain on these cases. Did an amazing job on so many of these cases, like Alex Murdoch, and I can't wait for a case like Brian Kohberger. I'm sure you'll have some amazing ideas to, if that case goes to trial, which I'm sure it will. And if it stays, I think it's October is what it's slated for.
Oh, yes, I've still got some tests I'm running on that case along with some of the others. But the cold cases are priority of our channel, and you've helped us on cold cases such as the Amber Crumb case down in Texas. And we got other cold cases I'm looking forward to in the future.
Yep. And we couldn't do it without your guys' support. So as always, thank you guys. Just from the bottom of my heart, you guys are amazing. Sorry, I'm getting some glitches on my screen here. I have not used StreamYard for a while because you've been gone, so I haven't used StreamYard for a bit. And it looks like they haven't changed much, but it seems like they changed the boxes, but maybe it's just I haven't used it for a a while. Anyway, let's get started here and just kind of go for a brief timeline, and then we'll get kind of caught up with the recent stuff because I've been tearing up his yard. And we'll have kind of Steve take a look at it and give his thoughts. There's some kind of rumors about the medical examiner being out there. And so let's just go over the basic kind of timeline in Rex. So let me see. I want to see if this will work better. That might work better here. So here's just the basic overall view of Rex. So he's 59 years old at the time of his arrest. He was an architect who had an office in Midtown Manhattan. He has a wife, but has served divorce papers, and also 2 kids. They both are adults. They lived in a home in Massapequa Park, which isn't too far from his work in Midtown Manhattan. He also owns property in South Carolina where his brother lives. They were actually there. They took one of his, so he owns 2 Chevrolet Avalanches, and it looks like they towed one of them away that was in South Carolina. And I believe he was actually going to retire to this property that's in South Carolina. And then they also owns some property in Vegas or some timeshares or something like that. So recently he was arrested on July 13th, charged with first degree with 3 out of the 4 women known as the Gilgo Four. So with Gilgo Four, we have the 4 women. We have Maureen Barnes. Now so like I said, there's the Gilgo Four. He's only right now, they suspect him of being involved with all 4, but right now he's only being charged 3 out of the 4. And the one that he's not being charged right now, but I'm sure it could change, especially I'm sure if they dig up some stuff, is Maureen Barnes. Now she, in order of victims, she would have been, if let's just say he is responsible for just the 4, she would be the first one. So she was last seen on July 9th of 2007. Just a brief timeline on hers. On July 6th, now this is something that when it comes to Rex and his victims, he'd get a burner phone. So he'd always get a new burner phone for each victim. So he went and got a burner phone, contacted Maureen Barnes. And between July 6th and July 9th, there were 16 interactions between her phone and his burner phone. And then sadly, on July 9th, when she was last seen, her phone would ping for the last time at approximately 11:56 on July 9th in Midtown Manhattan near 59th Street Bridge. Now you'll start to see kind of similarities here. You'll see that basically their last known pings are either Midtown Manhattan or Massapequa Park. So her phone pinged for the last time in Midtown Manhattan, which is close to where he works or where his office is at. Her phone, and then the other thing is, so after she was last seen on July 9th, a few days later, her phone would be used on July 12th, where 2 calls were made to check her voicemail. And the ping was coming from Long Island Expressway in Islandia. Now that's a little bit east of where he lives. Then we go to victim 2. So 2 years later, on July 3rd, 2009, Melissa was contacted by a new burner phone. And so she would be contacted on July 6th, 9th, and the 10th, which the 10th was the last day she was seen alive. On July 10th, the burner phone traveled from Massapequa Park to Midtown Manhattan. So that was most likely either him with her or, but that phone is traveling basically from his home to where his office is at. Later that evening, Melissa's phone traveled from, now vice versa, from Midtown Manhattan to Massapequa. with one ping at 1:43 a.m. on July 11th. Her phone was used, so same thing. Her phone was used to check her voicemail. The phone ping comes from Freeport on July 11th and 12th. And the same thing happened while the phone was pinging at Babylon. So Babylon, Freeport, they're all kind of east of, I think they're both east of Massapequa. But same thing, same similarity. New burner phone. Then you have pings that are coming from either Midtown Manhattan or Massapequa. And then you have the victim's phone either pinging in one of those areas or kind of, around Massapequa. But then he's checking, their voicemails are being checked. So then this is one of the things that probably got him, caught. So Rex used her phone on July 17th, the 23rd, August 5th, 19th, and the 26th, all in 2009, to call Melissa's family members to make taunting phone calls where he admitted to SA and killing Melissa. So he used her phone to call the victim's family and tell them this horrible thing that happened. And during this time, her phone was pinging in Midtown Manhattan, where these phone calls were made. And there's even I even have a graph that shows where these calls were made, and they're all just a couple blocks from his office. So, and then one of the notes, Rex's wife, most of these, or at least a few of these victims, when they went missing, his wife Rex's wife, happened to be out of town. In this one in particular, she was out of town between July 8th and August 18th. She was in Iceland. And I think in this one, he actually goes to join her in Iceland in the last week. And here is the graph right here. So the blue thing is where his office is at. And these pings, these green pings, are where he made the phone calls using her phone, taunting her family. And just reading the notes here. Okay. And we move on to victim 3 out of the 4 here. We have Megan Waterman. So with the last victim, so he waited between victim 1 and 2 out of the Gilgo Four. It was a 2-year gap. Now, this one is a 1-year gap between victim 2 and 3. So on June 5th, so once again, new burner phone that was activated that day. She was then contacted again the next day, early that morning at 1:31 a.m., June 6th. Megan was last seen alive at a Holiday Inn in New York, and we'll take a look at that on Google Earth, because that's for those that know this case, that's the footage of one of the victims seen checking out or something like that at the hotel. And this is Megan. She was caught on camera leaving the hotel afterwards. And that burner cell phone that contacted her was never used again. Megan's cell phone would ping in Massapequa Park, which was last activity at approximately 3:11 in the vicinity of Rex H's residence. So right close to his home, her phone last ping, and then it was over. And they believe that at least one of the victims was killed at his home. Then we have victim number 4. And this would be at least part of the Gilgo Four. This would be 2 victims in 1 year. So we have Megan, let's go back, June. And then we have Amber just a few months later, same year. And this is also another, this victim in particular was also, this case in particular helped kind of get the description of the vehicle and the possible suspect. So Amber Costello was receiving calls from a brand new burner phone that was bouncing on Massapequa Park and the West Amityville Towers. Costello did a ruse So I guess Rex showed up to her home or a home, and I'm not sure the exact details, but I don't know if she didn't feel comfortable. So she had a guy friend come over. So Amber had a guy friend come over as Rex showed up to pretend like he was the boyfriend and that he was upset. And basically, it was kind of a ruse to take Rex's money. So I guess he paid her in advance, and then this guy shows up acting like an upset boyfriend, and so Rex ends up leaving. Sadly, she would go back to Rex. Let's see, let me get the date. So that was September 1st. So the next day, Rex told Amber that he did not want to come into the house because of what happened last time. But going back to the September 1st, this is when the witness saw Rex with the first generation Avalanche, so the dark green Avalanche, and then the 6'4" ogre type body shape. So that's where that all comes from. So on September 2nd, Rex would get in contact with her, said that was not nice for taking my money. Do I get credit for next time? And he told Amber that he did not want to come into the house. So she was last seen walking out of her house, and apparently somebody that knew her saw her go out of the house, told her, hey, you're forgetting your purse and your cell phone. She said, don't worry about it. So this would be the one victim that didn't actually bring their phone with them. And anyway, that would be the last time they would see her. They would see her walking one way, and then they would see what looked to be a dark green truck driving down the road, which was obviously Rex. But the burner phone messages that were being sent would go from Midtown Manhattan to Massapequa Park, according to the notes. And let's see, left her cell phone behind. We talked about that. Rex's wife was out of town. And then, so another note, Rex's wife was out of town between August 28th and September 5th, where she was in New Jersey. So there we have it. We have the 4 victims there. Anything that you noticed in that you want to mention?
He's a big fellow, I know that. But
here he is.
But the coverage of right now, law enforcement across the country, they have 2 key things I think they're focusing on. Is that whenever his wife's out of town, of course, is going to be huge as far as those timelines of when he has the ability to do as he wishes and not have to report back to the wife. As those of us that have those relationships that, your wives keep pretty close tabs on you. But also the law enforcement is going to be checking all these, if you got missing persons and they've never been found in last contact, or these burner phones, and he's in the area, they're going to make those links. And I'm sure they're checking on that, especially in Vegas and South Carolina also.
Yeah, and I wonder, and I'm sure they'll eventually find this all out, because obviously the big question is he just responsible for these 4, or is he responsible for the there's 8 that were found on the beach there. So you got 4 and 4, and then there's talks of other. Oh, go ahead.
No, I mean, he's developed a MO, a method of operation that he learned about these burner phones and making these contacts and these interactions somewhere. And he was extremely successful in disposing of the bodies and everything. So I don't think that 4 is going to be the number. I think it's going to be much higher. Pre-2010 and of course post also.
Right. Thank you so much, Haley Shroop. Hello, Chris and Steve. Thank you so much. And just to finish the thought I was going to say is one thing, and I'm sure they already know this, but is he getting a burner phone would the burner phone lead to how many victims there are, or is he getting a burner phone for every adult worker that he gets in contact with? Is he getting rid of one every time he deals with one, or is that only when he actually kills one?
In certain areas, and even when law enforcement are putting out the messaging or whatever, they're going to be asking people, and who had interaction. They have their pictures now, so and law enforcement's going to be getting leads from other workers that have had interactions with him, and they'll be checking how some of these workers will make contact with law enforcement. Some of these women will step forward, and that will give us a better understanding of how those victims were able to not become victims of him.
Sure.
And hopefully that's the case. Hopefully there are survivors of him that for whatever reason he wasn't able to lure or control, and that will be some information that is extremely useful for law enforcement.
Okay, misdemeanor OG, Freeport is west. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I know a lot of these that they mention are east, like Manorville and Babylon. So I in my head, a lot of them that they mention are east, but thank you for clarifying. I definitely, that when it comes to the East Coast, I know little about the Giga, the map. So I will probably make a few mistakes on that. Just checking chat here. I see something and I can't get to it. There it is. Okay, so this is what's wild is here. What we're looking at as a picture. Let me get this a little bigger here. Is here's him literally 2 months ago, May 19th, in a cell phone store. I'm assuming T-Mobile, it's got the pink, buying more minutes for his latest burner phone, where you can see, and as a matter of fact, here, if you see right here, notice what he's got in his hand.
Oh yeah. Law enforcement is going to be going and requesting all of the security footage from these stores where you can get burner phones. They're going to be talking to the employees. They'll be doing a canvassing, much like they did with Kohlberger, trying to identify how many burner phones he bought, when he bought them, and where he got them. And of course, I'll just be part of the canvassing, and not only for where he lives in New York but also Vegas and South Carolina and places in between. Because burner phones is part of his MO, and it will be detrimental to him because I believe they're going to find a lot more victims because of that MO.
Right, and see a lot of like Gilgo Four is really the latest victims. All the other victims are actually earlier victims. Mm-hmm. And so we're going back to like 1997, 2000, early 2000s, where no cell phones.
How old is he now?
He's 59 when he was arrested.
59.
And we're going to, we're going to,
so in the, 81, he would have graduated high school, went in college. So yes, he could have in his 20s, and as he developed and built his skill sets, there could be a vast number of other victims out there.
Right. Okay, let me get caught up in chat for a second. For your adventures, sending Toronto, Canada. Love you. Love to you both. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much, Julie, for the $13.99 Canadian.
I'll give you a blue light there. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Mrs. Steve usually does a blue light, but I'm all you got tonight, Chris.
Appreciate it. You can get burner phones. You can get like Walmart, CVS. Here we have 7-Elevens. I know they're not everywhere, but 7-Elevens, they have same thing. Basically a burner phone I would think is a prepaid phone would be the best description. It's a prepaid phone. You're not putting your name into it. There's no name associated with an account. That's what's nice, I guess, with a prepaid phone is you just get it. It's pretty much activated. Once you put minutes on it, it's ready to go. And there's nothing tied to it except although it does track where the phone is at. Other than that, you can be kind of discreet. Okay. Get caught up in chat here, and just thank you to everybody that's kind of coming in. We've got over 300 people. Thank you guys so much. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna get caught up. Since Steve has been on the trip, I know he knows a little bit about this case, but
very little.
There's a lot to this case, and
I've been so out of the loop. Like I said, I'm still trying to get caught up, just returning home.
Okay, so here's two victims that I just wanted to bring up. So this is Jessica Taylor and Valerie Mack. And I think Valerie Mack was actually a Jane Doe number 6. And if we look just kind of found the victims. So here's just kind of overview of them when they where the victims were found. And you got the Gilgo Four right here on the left. And then you've got the other 4 that are kind of spread out. You got Jane Doe and Toddler Doe. So I call Mother Doe and Baby Doe because they're obviously mother-daughter, I think. And then you have the Asian male, and then you have Jessica Taylor. And then you have... does it show it in here? And then you would have the one that I just showed here. Jessica Taylor. Yeah, so Jessica Taylor and Valerie Mack. And they went missing in, let's see, she went missing in July 2003. And so out of these two, you have Valerie Mack. She went missing in 2000. Then you have Jessica Taylor that went missing in 2003. So much earlier. Obviously, you didn't have cell phones. I mean, you did have those big, but most likely, obviously, they didn't have cell phones. And at the most maybe had a pager, but I don't know how pagers were tracked. But what's interesting is their remains. So, and we're going to talk about not all of them, but we'll kind of talk about how their remains were found and what was their cause of death. Is there, some similarities? And there actually is. So we'll come back to that. So here is what he researched. Obviously, he researched. This is like his Google searches. Can you see that okay, Steve?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll let you take a look at it for here a second. I can read them out if you want. Why hasn't the Long Island serial killer been caught? Long Island killer, Long Island serial. I guess I better not say that a bunch of times. But FBI active serial guys by state, 2003, 2023. Map of all known serial unsolved cases. America's 5 most notorious old cases, 11 currently active, 8 terrifying serial we can't find. And then number 14, John Bitroff. Then we have Megan Waterman, Melissa Bartholomew, Maureen Barnes. Now, keep in mind, Barnes is the one he's right now not being charged with because maybe they just don't have enough with her. So at least in these searches, he's looking up 3 out of the 4. But how
many of these girls' names were known at the time that he looked these up?
Oh, that's a good question. They don't show when these are searched. Now, I'm assuming if you look back, you've got 2022, 2023. So I'm assuming these searches are more recent because obviously you wouldn't be looking at 2023 if you're in 2020. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So these have got to be more probably this year, maybe last year.
Okay.
Type searches. But this John Bitroff, for those that know Lisk and the Long Island, and they probably know who this guy is. But I wanted to bring this up, and I'm going to come full circle because this is kind of interesting. But I wanted to bring this up, this guy up, for those that don't know who he is. So this is John Bitroff. He was a carpenter who lived in Manorville, which is not too far from Massapequa. Now, where he was living is where they found the torsos of Jessica Taylor and Valerie Mack, the two girls I just showed. But only their torsos were found in Manorville. The rest of their body parts were found in Gilgo Beach. Now, they're that's kind of different from the other MOs. He was also reportedly cut out the heart of a deer that he just shot and ate it in the woods. Now, he is actually younger. He's actually 2 years younger than Rex. He was born in 1966. Rex was born in what? Be 1964?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's actually younger, but he was associated with two, so here's the women that he's associated with. And we have Rita, Colleen, and Sandra. With Rita, now their bodies weren't found on the Gilgo Beach. They were found in, let's see, one was found in East. They were kind of found around in that area, and then one was more east. We got Shirley, New York. You can see where they're at, actually, right here, where their bodies. So obviously the Gilgo were down here. Their bodies were more found inland. So we have Rita Tangradi. Now this is what's interesting is with the Gilgo Four, all four girls apparently were strangled, died to asphyxiation or strangled, usually by belt or something like that, with the Gilgo Four. So on Rex's side. With him, same thing. All three girls here were strangled and or beaten to death. With one of them, Rita, trophies being taken, left shoe and underwear. And so he was only convicted with two, although they believe Sandra, he's responsible for. So kind of same thing with Rex is that they believe that there's at least multiple victims, but they can only charge him for a few. But it says that they believe that he could have been, obviously before they caught Rex, that he could have been possibly the Long Island killer. But he started back in 1993, and that's confirmed as when he started, because that's when Rita was found. And then the next year, Colleen was found in 94. So he started way, like a decade and a half before Rex that we know of. And he wouldn't be caught until July of 2014, 2016, something like that. But it says in the Wikipedia, and I don't know how much stock you put in this, but they believe he has up to like 15 or 19 bodies associated. So kind of interesting. But I thought it was wild that he looked those up. But same mannerism. He strangled his victims to death. Didn't cut them up or anything. At least these ones that we know about. He did take a trophy of one of them. At least that's all I could find. I don't know if he took trophies of Colleen and Sandra. Let's see. Where would I want to go with this? Okay, there's that. But okay, so we have those three there. Oh, Manorville, that's what I was going to say. So these two girls, this is what I was like, what? I'm trying to go full circle on this. So these two girls, that part of their remains were found on Gilgo Beach. Their torsos were found in Manorville, which is where John Bitroff lived. So it's a question: was he responsible for them? But yet, the ones that he's charged for, he didn't cut them up or anything. Where these girls were. What do you think on that?
Well, it's absolutely unbelievable. You got the same stretch of road, and I don't know how long it is between the bodies, what the distance is from one cluster of bodies to another clusters of bodies of these two individuals. And of course, the workers are extremely high risk to individuals that do this. But it is strange that there is parts found near the home of another one that is dumping bodies on the same road.
Right.
And so we have to look at that. And of course, law enforcement's looking at it, and they'll have a better, clearer understanding because they'll be doing the offender profiles. And, you know, these individuals are living in an age where everything is discoverable about you for the last, 15, 20 years as far as digital footprints. And they're going to be checking closely to see if there are any links between these two individuals, because you have one that's an architect and another one that's a carpenter. And,
Right.
And they, at times, those paths will cross, and they're in the same town, same dumping area, and body parts are near one of them's home. So it is something that will have to be explained and will be looked at.
Right. Let me know in chat. It looks, I don't know if it's frozen or what. It just kind of seems like unless everybody's just super sucked in right now. I haven't seen chat move for a minute. If you guys can't put something in the chat, I just want to make sure we're not. Everything looks good on my side, but I just don't see chat moving.
What's on the? Can you blow up what's on that box that's marked that the
yeah.
CSI
Yeah, so that's
carrying out?
our H office book. So this is from his storage shed here.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go ahead and play the clip here. I'm just weird. Let me move my chat. Yeah, my chat hasn't moved for a minute here. That's weird. Okay, let me play the video and then hopefully that'll be okay. So let's play what's going on recently, and then we'll kind of come full circle on this. Because, yeah, I haven't seen the live speed's going good. Let me check my. Okay. That is weird. It's like my chat's frozen. So here's just a clip of him getting arrested. I thought I'd start with that. And then we'll play the news. These are kind of little clips from over the weekend into today because they've been tearing up his backyard. But right now I cannot see. For some reason, my chat is not moving.
Now to new developments in the Gilgo Beach murders. Investigators of digging up the backyard of a suspected serial killer, hoping to find new clues in this case. Detectives suspect Rex Heuermann committed at least some of the killings in his Massapequa Park home. Police have also searched a walk-in vault in the house where they seized several guns. Eyewitnesses reporter Shantae Lenz live in Massapequa Park with the latest. Shantae.
Well, David, today marks day 11 of searching this home. It belongs to accused Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann. And for the first time over the weekend, the crews brought in an excavator, hoping to dig for clues. From digging with an excavator to taking pictures, federal, state, and Suffolk County investigators in hazmat suits sift through the ground in the backyard of accused Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann.
It's just crazy how it's just going deeper and deeper.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to back out, Steve, while this is playing, and see if that'll fix it. Yeah, because I'm looking on YouTube and it's fine, but yeah, my chat's not moving.
Okay.
This backhoe pulled up several feet of dirt while crews in hazmat suits focus on another dirt patch nearby.
Can we confirm that?
Perfect. It worked. I didn't know it'd take everything away.
Okay.
I had to do that.
Actually,
My apologies. That's weird. I have never seen that happen.
yeah, my chat still froze on my end.
Oh, it is. Oh, see, it wasn't me. Oh, you do want to back out while I get this fixed? Up to you.
No, it
If
don't
you-
matter.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
need the chat. As long as it works on your end, all that matters.
Okay. All right. Let me get caught back up. Yeah, that fixed it. Hopefully it fixed it. That's weird. I've never seen that.
Park with the latest. Shantae.
Well, David, today marks day 11 of searching this home. It belongs to accused Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann. And for the first time over the weekend, the crews brought in an excavator, hoping to dig for clues. From digging with an excavator to taking pictures, federal, state, and Suffolk County investigators in hazmat suits sift through the ground in the backyard of accused Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann.
It's just crazy how it's just going deeper and deeper.
This backhoe pulled up several feet of dirt while crews in hazmat suits focus on another dirt patch nearby.
Can we confirm that someone?
So yeah, one thing I wanted to, because people, there's been some misreporting. So there is a vault, but there's not a soundproof room. There's just a vault. Now I'm assuming if the vault was, so you see the iron doors that they open up. It's just a little cellar that goes down, and that's where he kept his guns, and that's the vault. And we'll actually see them coming in and out of that. That's the vault. It's not a soundproof room. I guess that was kind of misconstrued, but thank you. I got a no for the $2. Okay, it looks like I'm caught up. I'm hoping the chat moves because I'm not seeing it move again. That's really weird.
Uh-oh.
Inside the house, we can't confirm that this time.
I asked Suffolk County Police Commissioner Rodney Harrison if there was specific evidence that tipped investigators off to start digging in Heuermann's backyard.
Not at all. We're just doing a thorough investigation.
Rex Heuermann, a Manhattan architect, husband, and father of two, pleaded not guilty to the murders of Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, and Amber Lynn Costello. Investigators are still trying to figure out if he murdered Maureen Brainerd Barnes. All of their bodies were found along Long Island South Shore at Gilgo Beach. Neighbors are reacting to the backyard search.
Living so close by, you never thought of it.
I would say definitely concerning for sure.
This neighbor says detectives knocked on his door.
They went this side of the block, that side of the block, just knocking on every door, going down the street, just asking, have you ever had contact with the family? Thoughts on the house, just in general.
As for the search, without saying what was recently pulled from Heuermann's property, Commissioner Harrison says the investigation is fruitful.
I'm optimistic. As you can see, we have people from the medical examiner's office, state police, NASA. Everybody's working together.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to play this clip because they said they brought in the medical examiners are there. So what's your take on that? Because some people hear that and think, oh, medical examiners got to mean there's remains or bodies. But I think what's your take on that?
Well, exactly what happened with us in Texas with
Yeah.
Abercrombie.
Right.
You bring someone in there that has medical knowledge of the human anatomy, and they'll look at those items. And as we found out, sometimes they're not absolutely accurate because in the early analysis, but once they take it to the lab and they're able to look at them under certain other conditions, I'm sure that they, but that's what I believe that they're looking at this, especially if they're finding certain bones and things of that nature for them to look at, because in our situation, they found a lot of animal bones. And so is that what they're trying to rule out here? Absolutely. And because you get the most qualified person available, bring them there. And of course, whatever is decided at the scene, it will still have lab work to support it.
Yeah. So they could be just preemptively bringing them out just in case they find something, or could they have came across some like animal bones and said, hey, we're not sure?
Absolutely. And some people may be absolutely 100% correct. They have found other remains of other victims. And
Sure.
They did with John Wayne Gacy. As they tore up the floor. And as they look through this, now the ability of this individual being married, and at what time frame and how long of time would he have been able to possibly um, hide victims? John Wayne Gacy was married and was able to, and so, but there has to be special times and uh, time availability for him to do so.
Right. Yeah. So once again, chat, I am so sorry. My chat is frozen. This is kind of a bummer.
You want me to back out and see if it's on? I don't know how it would do it.
No, it wouldn't be your end, but I can see on my, when I go to just regular YouTube, I can see people have donated, and I hate that because then I'm missing out, and I wanted to interact with people, and I don't know what would be the workaround. I backed all the way out without cutting the live.
Well, no, I think just yeah, because there's a delay on the YouTube side, isn't there?
There's a little bit of a delay, but yeah, this is so what I'm going to do is I'll back out one more time here in just a second. I want to play this clip. So see this guy coming out. This is where the vault is. So I guess it's kind of like an underground cellar. They found over 200 plus guns. Half of them were actually not registered, illegal. But yeah, they've tore up his backyard, and I wanted to look at Twitter because obviously, as a matter of fact, I've been getting a lot of emails. I've got quite a few fans that watch the show, and I've been driving by because they live in that area. I think I got like two people have been kind of emailing me pictures with the road, kind of blocked off, saying that they've been kind of out there and things have been going on. A lot of this, I think, is from yesterday, but they are out there today that I know of. So I'm going to go ahead and back out one more time and see if that'll fix it. So bear with me, guys. I'm sorry. It's all part of doing live shows. This is not on my end. I don't know why. So let me back out one more time.
Maybe he'll be back with us shortly.
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I've got new chat, but it's like whenever I come in, whatever you guys just chatted, that's my last chat because it's not moving. That's so stupid. Because I know somebody donated $50 and well, this just ain't cool.
No.
Joseph, thank you so much for the $4.99. This is not how I wanted to do the show. Chris, when chat froze, I lost connection. Was just buffering. How is the actual stream? Is the stream fine for you guys? I'll have to go look on YouTube what they say. Do you think Bonjour reality interview was set up by police or FBI given to the was set up by police or FBI given to the questions were psychological in nature? So you probably wondered what that is, Steve, huh?
I've heard nothing about this.
All right, let me show you this. So this is something you don't get to see every day.
Bonjour, I'm Antoine. Today on l'interview,
what decided you to launch that?
So this was last year before they knew who Rex was. This guy, Bonjour Reality has a YouTube channel, and for whatever reason, I guess he's interviewing, architects or whatever. Sorry, I don't know much of the channel he does, but he actually interviews Rex. So this is last year, and so here's just a little bit of an interview. So I'm going to play this while I catch up on chat.
That's all the handicap access.
Okay.
They said,
did you?
You're the new guy, you read it. So I read it.
You read it?
There was a situation dealing with the city. They said, well, go meet with the city. I did. I was effective at it. He said, go do it again.
Oh, that's funny.
And that's how the whole thing started.
Okay.
And he did a lot of work with not-for-profit agencies for developmentally disabled. So that's where I started doing a lot of my building code consultant with him, as well as the design and drawings for these facilities. And the one thing I learned very quickly was the building department could not understand them.
Couldn't understand what? Their own codes?
Their own codes, their own laws.
Yeah, so there's just a little clip of that, but yeah, that was going viral once they caught him and realized that there's this whole interview, because you don't get to see that every day, an interview, after the fact that, not knowing this guy was who he is now. But yeah, it's a long interview, so we're not going to have time to play that entire thing, but the behavior panel broke this video down. They, I'm sure this is different from what they usually break down, because usually when behavior panel breaks something down, they're breaking down an interrogation or something. This is just an interview, but they did notice that, if he is a sociopath, which is very likely he could be, he does realize that you notice how the interviewers, always kind of making light of stuff, and he's laughing, where he, Rex, is not getting that, he's not matching that, he's not kind of, he's kind of being a little more serious, because, if you're a psychopath, you don't know, you don't think like the normal person does, and your cues are off, when you're having a one-on-one. And so they broke that down. It was kind of interesting. Sorry, Steve, I just kind of going off what Joseph was asking, but
absolutely. I understand. But he does remind me of a lot of John Wayne Gacy's mannerisms.
Yeah, I never even thought about that.
Even similarities of.
Right. I am so bummed right now because I've missed out on so many chats, and I know some people. Let me. I'm gonna have to do it this way. I can't actually pull them up. So Henry Dog, Chris's awesome sauce. Thank you so much, Henry Dog, for the $50 super chat. Thank you so much. I'm looking on YouTube. Henry Dog got 7-month membership. Hey, little monsters, good evening. Oh man, I missed a bunch because Tom Ann says, "Happy Monday, everyone. Hope y'all had a great weekend." They have been tracking him for a while. They have a mountain of evidence, in my opinion. For sure. Gracie, thank you for the $4.99. Gosh, so many that I missed. I am so sorry, guys. I've never had my chat freeze on this. Yeah, it's kind of lame. So let's we'll go for another 5 minutes, because I was going to have you answer some questions. I mean, that's what part of being live, you get to interact with the audience, but I don't even see my chat now at the top. I don't even know how many people are in the chat.
Okay.
This is weird. This is kind of stupid.
Well,
so
unless you just want to restart, that's up to you.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll fix it or not. Let me try. Let me just. No, now my chat is gone. I hate StreamYard. I really do. Can you hear me?
Your clock's still going.
Yeah, it's still going. This is so weird. I'm looking on my show right now. We have 445 people in here. Oh, wow. I don't even know what to do. It's so lame. Setting up would, just be a hassle to set. I mean, it'd take me another 15 minutes to set up the show and everything. Oh shoot, Steve! I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry for
This is
you.
not
I
on
hate for
me.
you to run
This
into
is
this. I don't know.
stupid. Wait, I've got a yellow thing up here. Heads up. Oh, what? Oh, no shit. Heads up. There's a known issue with YouTube comments right now. You might not receive some comments in the studio. YouTube is working on fixing it. God. So you probably can't see what I'm seeing. You know how
Nope.
you got your account up at the top right? There is a symbol in yellow right now, and it's saying there's an issue.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's
you just do you want to reschedule another show in 45 minutes or an hour to catch up, or do you just want to call it over? It's up to you.
yeah,
I'm with you. If you want, I mean, it's messed up. It's not fair to the audience. It's not,
right.
I
What
mean,
would
we've
be
been on
easier? Would
almost
you?
an hour, but it's up to
Yeah.
you.
Let me look at the chat. Yeah, so this isn't my phone. I'm sorry, chat. This is YouTube. I'm going to take a screenshot of this, show you guys. But yeah, this is so.
It's a constant battle against YouTube.
It really is. So here's what I'm looking at. I just want to show chat this real quick.
They fight us all every day.
So this is what I was. You would think I would see this warning. And why is this videos? Oh, I need to show screen. This is what I'm dealing with, guys. I'm sorry. Entire screen. Okay. Well, we could finish up the show here and then maybe set up another time, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday or something.
Okay.
But yeah, here's the message I got. Heads up, there's a known issue with YouTube comments right now. You might not receive some comments in the studio. YouTube is working on fixing it. And how? Of course, it's on YouTube's side. I hate to go after my my employer, but
yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, I hate that for you.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, because we'll just end up having the same thing. If I do it, we're just we're not going to be able to interact. So I figured tonight's probably not going to be good anyway. What was else I was going to show you? Played the video. I just wanted to look up. Let's just quickly see here. Because there was some rumors, but I think that just falls along with the medical examiner. That they had found some remains, but I think, like I said, that's the neighbors talking.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's absolutely possible,
Oh, sure.
But, would the wife recognize that there was a certain digging activity in the backyard, and because it takes a relatively large hole to hide a victim.
Right. I'm going to pull up that thing. Here's kind of so. Let's just see what Daily News says real quick here. They yelled lift and brought it up one big piece as if it was a cover, says neighbor Barry Oslander. The porch was replaced with a white tent, blocked any view of what was going on inside. After turning over the soil with the yellow excavator, investigators could be seen combing the upturned earth with shovels and digging around the home foundation. Now, that could just be them just being thorough, making sure they don't miss anything.
Absolutely. And I saw where they were doing some ground penetrating radar and maybe even some of the ERI. So that might be something that Carolyn will be able to speak more on it.
Yeah, and that's why, because I know she's in the chat, and I was going to kind of maybe bring some of her comments up, but apparently that's not going to work because there's something going on. Oh, and here's the hole there. That's a good 3 feet there, huh? Can you see what I'm seeing?
Nope.
Oh, what is going on? So that looks like a good 3 feet.
Oh no, it's a lot bigger than 3.
I think it's a deep.
Oh, I don't know now.
Yeah,
whenever, because you're looking at a hole that looks
definitely
like
probably
4
6
by 6 or 4 by 7.
Yeah.
That length by width, depth I can't really tell, but now some of the diggings at some point on the archaeological and the CSI work done on one is a little bit more refined than using heavy machinery. They'll get down there on hands and knees and so they can locate layers of evidence.
Yeah.
Or at least I hope they do. I don't know. They may just dig until they find something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, gosh, that's such a bummer. I can't get to interact with the chat. I'm so sorry, guys. Like I said, this is something I cannot handle. I can see my chat when I go over to YouTube. And I just want to say thank you guys. And I'm so sorry I can't bring up your guys' stuff. This is not on me.
We'll get fixed. We'll do another one. And we'll
we'll do another show. And I'll, even though Steve's pretty busy, I do want to shout out to all my mods and stuff. But yeah, apparently this is something that's just out of my hands. We can't do anything about it right now. Hopefully they'll fix it tonight, and we can do another show tomorrow or Wednesday, when it's easier for you. I know I'm sure there'll be a lot more out by then.
Absolutely.
Debbie, thank you so much for the $5. Not your fault, Chris. Don't be hard on yourself. Yeah, I just, you spend hours putting a show together and then it falls apart because, we only get Steve on here usually once a week. And I know a lot of people like to ask questions. And no, it's not Nightbot's fault. This is clearly they've got a thing going out. So I'm just trying to look at my other stuff.
All right. Well, you can throw me backstage whenever.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I am going to have a video. I've got an interesting video I'm doing. I'm going to tell you about it, Steve, as soon as you get behind stage. But it's something where I want to go full circle with John and then another possible person, actually 2 people, because it's how they found the baby doe. But that'll be in my video since I'm not going to be able to work with that tonight. But so anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry. I guess, Twitter is getting a new, I don't even know what Twitter is called now. It's X. Have you seen that?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Twitter's not Twitter anymore. That's a whole new can of worms. Crazy. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. I can't see chat. I don't know what's going on. But I'll have a video out and we'll try this again in a day or 2. So thank you guys so much. Love you guys. And we'll go ahead and end it there.